Here we go. Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Saturday. I'm Mike with HighSchool Creations.
Oh, I'm 796 Studios.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? I was like, yo, where am I?
There he is.
I'm here.
What's been going on, man?
Oh, you know, overeating over this Thanksgiving weekend. Just getting ready for Christmas, man. Been working. I'm a little tired today. No joke.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Like I know you said you took a nap. I took a nap like halfway through the day. Like I passed out for a few hours. Totally threw me off too.
Did it really?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I woke up at because it's dark early. I woke up at 6 thinking it was like 10 or 11. I'm like, what did I do?
You're like, oh my God, I forgot the stream.
Just like I forgot. Tonight is episode 2, the cheeseburger.
The cheeseburger. Oh man, I can't even think about food right now. I'm full.
Man, I know, so much food, and then the leftovers, and then like today was we celebrated his birthday early, so we could go have it with some people. And we ordered way too much pizza, so now we got pizza and cake. Now we're eating off that. It's like never ending this time of year.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, speaking of eating, something what me and you started like 2 months ago was a Biggest Loser challenge. I even think I put up my entire NECA into turtles.
I'm pretty sure I put up the Razor Crest. Right?
Yeah. We should go weigh in. You got your scale?
Yeah, I got it right now.
Yeah, me too.
Right this second?
No.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure I lost, man.
I think the challenge ended like a week ago, but like 3 weeks in, I think we just stopped talking about it because I was doing poorly.
Yeah. Well, you went to Disney.
Oh yeah, that's right.
After, and I was like, "There's no way." And then I don't know, man, but. Well, you know what? We got New Year's right around the corner. New Year's resolution. There you go. We'll start it over again. This will be the 3rd attempt at the weight loss challenge, Biggest Loser challenge. So,
that's fine with me. I don't mind. What is it called? Up and down on the diet, on the scale. But I'm gonna put out some big money this year because I need to get serious. I'm about to approach that 40 mark, and I need to be healthy.
Oh man, me too. And that should be the motivator right there.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Health.
40.
Yeah.
Oh well, cheers, my friend.
Drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night. That's how I get down.
You're turning into Kevin.
Huh?
You're turning into Kevin.
Oh yeah, Kevin. Speaking of Kevin, tonight the Boba Squadron is on. If you guys aren't interested in the build, go check out Andor if you're watching Andor, or consider stream hopping. There's no wrong with that.
Pull a Chamba. Just get them both up at the same time.
Get them all going. Yeah, get them all. That's a fabulous idea too. Let's all get some viewership.
You're gonna see some like Andor comments in our comment section, and then build comments in their section. That'll be funny.
We can cross streams. Well, cool. Well, let's get into it. First of all, I do want to go ahead and thank some very special people over on Patreon. These people support HighSchool Creations channel and want to give them some recognition. So I'm going to give them some shout outs for all the support. Thank you. Brandon, Bearded Builds, Robert, Scott B, Sacrifice Plastic, ToyingAround, Grumps, and Billy Moon. Thank you guys so much for all the support over on Patreon and continue to support, this channel. All the proceeds that go into the Patreon come back into this channel to keep making it better and better and better. So thank you guys for all the support there. Yeah, and let's see who's here tonight. We're already 5 minutes in and we're late, and there's some chats. So what's up, guys? Let's see. Bearded, what's going on, Bearded in here? Let's going. What's up, Bearded? 7 on 6 in the house. What's up, man? Queen or Geek, what's going on? It's been a while. Hey, speaking of Andor, crossing streams. Hello there. ToyingAround's in the house. Diorama Project, Dilly, what's going on? I'm about to crack one open here in a second.
Yeah.
Nightmare Nemo, what's going on? And speaking of the Chamba, what's up, the Chamba? Oh, let me get proof so the Bubble Squadron can see this. He was here tonight.
Yeah. I just stopped by his stream really quick too. So.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Yeah,
that's funny. He was live over on Instagram, and I popped in, and he gave some shout outs for us, and I was like, I'll be watching while Mario's talking. So
yeah, I figured I'd do the same too. So, and that was already me doing it. So I think that covers us both. So we're good. We don't need to hop back in there.
Oh, that's where I was headed to. I guess you saw me going.
Oh, okay. Should I keep going?
No. We got a show to do tonight, and it's been a month. You know, I got on Instagram earlier, did a quick live, just to let people know we are going to be live. I don't know how many times I can say that tonight. And, you know, our schedule is once a month, and this month a little thrown off, I think, with the holidays. So just want to get on there and remind everybody. But we're shooting for the last Saturday of every month. And if there's any changes, we'll make it up. But with the schedule being funky, you know, these first couple episodes, just make sure you guys are aware we're going live.
Yeah.
And then if you could just spread that around, man, that'll help us. Also, if you can hit that like down there, hit that like button, that thumbs up, that'll help us. And if you're not subscribed. And tonight's episode, I'll let Mario introduce this because he's been coming up with these great themes and been doing the groundwork to get us intros and all this other stuff. So the star of the show is 796 Studios, and then huge thank you to Matthew Toy for continuing to help us by he came to us and said, hey, you guys got a show next week. Yeah. Do you need me to make changes? So he's not only is he helping us, he's reminding us we got work to do. So huge shout out to Matthew Toy.
Yeah. The cheeseburger. It actually stems from a quote from Matthew McConaughey of all people, and he says, "The man who invented the hamburger was smart, but the man who invented the cheeseburger was a genius." And I remember it's significant to Mike and I in our relationship because he was, and I think we talked about it on the last episode, he was doing one of his IG lives and he was showing like his various tools and what he had used for specifically creating holes for magnets, right? And it was, what was it, Mike? Copper tubing?
Yeah, it was half-inch copper tubing. It was like leftover I had, and just randomly like, hey, this is the same size. The foam's soft. I stuck it in. I was like, oh, that's perfect. And I started using it.
Yeah,
and then
it was smart. Yeah, because like if you guys don't know, like when you install magnets, you know, it's a circular form, and then you create the outline. Then you got to do either a pie cut or just pick it out or whatever. There's various methods, but Mike found a pipe that was the same or close to the same diameter as the magnet, would imprint it, and then would you just pick it out or cut it out, the foam?
I cut down so you have the face, right, where you put the half-inch piece in, and then I typically work with 1-inch foam. So right at the top, I just cut a slit, and that cut the back perfectly, and then it just popped out.
So you would actually push it in there and then cut the slit. Okay, yep. Cool. And I work with typically 1/2-inch foam. So, but anyways, I saw that. I'm like, that's freaking genius. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to get like this copper tubing? I'm like, what am I going to do? Go to Home Depot? I'm sure they sell it in bulk. So I started
by the foot, yeah.
Yeah, right. Or go to a construction site and steal it, and then you're committing, you know, burglary, which is not cool. Okay, for the record. But I went on Amazon and I saw they had leather hole punches, and they had them specifically in you know, millimeters. The magnets we use are 18 millimeters, so I picked up a 17 millimeter hole punch, and I used it, and it worked perfectly. I tagged Mike, and he's like, whoa, you just took my idea and made it better. I'm like, yeah, I cheeseburgered it. And we've had this like running joke ever since. Mike will show me something and I'll take it, make it my own, improve on it. And he'll be like, oh, you cheeseburgered, or vice versa. And that's where the whole cheeseburger thing stems from. It's, you know, learning or observing someone else's technique and then either improving it upon it or making it your own. And I think in this hobby, I mean, it's rare to see anything that has never been done before. Dioramas have been around forever, for decades, and pretty much everybody has done everything, right? The only thing that evolves is the technique or maybe incorporating some new materials. I don't know, Mike. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I think I know where you're going. And for me, the biggest thing I think, specifically with that was like the recognition you gave behind it, and cheeseburgering it or classifying that way allowed it to be easily, hey, I didn't come up with this. I did in a way invent it myself, but here's the step. This is how I got here. And I saw Mike or high school Mike doing this and I evolved it to this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll be honest with the copper pipe, I tried so many ways to perfect it. I tried, cutting the edge, reaming the edge to make it sharper. I
Like
tried
a
heating it
chamfer.
up.
And, yeah.
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 And then once I saw what you did, I was like, there's no reason for this. They make this tool. I don't need to do this. Like I just went and bought a few of them, right? So now they're in, my arsenal, my tools. I don't even mess with the copper tubing anymore.
Yeah. No, but you do bring up a good point. And I didn't even think about it. When you say cheeseburger, it is laying the groundwork that this was already invented and this is just my topping or my version of it. And I think you and I are both respectful people in this sport and this hobby where we do pay credit, and I think that's important too, right? Um, just hey, this person laid down the groundwork and this is just me adding the finishing touches, so you can't take all the credit and you're still crediting like the original artist.
Right. Because someone might have the bacon cheeseburger next week.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, for sure. And Champa brings up a good point too. Art in general, all cheeseburgers. Yeah. I forgot I was watching and I think I might have told the story before on a different stream. I was talking to Champa for a while and he's like, "Oh, drawing is a skill you can learn. You're not just like a naturally talented and can do it."
Don't tell everybody that.
I think it.
I'm just joking.
I think it's yeah. Maybe it's not well known, but it also is like intimidating. You're like, oh, I'll never be able to draw, right? But if you can learn, right? And one of these guys that I was learning from is like, go and find your favorite artist and in the very beginning, like just recreate their techniques, recreate what they're doing until you understand the fundamentals and the basics, right? Like to this day, I still have people hitting me up in my DMs. They're like, "Yo, can I rebuild your Cyberpunk Dio?" I'm like, "Yeah, go for it, man." And you take that as like a tutorial or a guide until, like I said, you learn the fundamentals and then eventually learn your own style or your own new techniques. Like shoot, Bearded Builds is recreating the salient, but he's doing it with his CNC, which
That's
is
dope.
freaking nuts. Yeah. And
Yeah.
sorry, Bearded, if I spilled the beans with that one, but he's been showing me like some progress pictures, and I'm like, damn, dude. Now that's
Kind of jealous.
Yeah.
He doesn't share anything with me. Bearded.
Whoops. Sorry,
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Oh boy. Yeah, boy. Okay. I thought you said oh boy. Yo, what's up,
man.
Billy?
What's up, Billy Moon? But yeah, man, I think there really is nothing wrong with taking an existing idea and improving upon it,
No, because it's done in all forms, right? From different, industries. Let's talk about toys for a second. I just picked this up. This in itself is a cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
This original buck is, I think, the Omega Red buck, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it came out in the animated form, and it had the ugly peg holes everybody talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out this year in this form, right? This is a cheeseburger.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what it is just improvements,
Right.
You can kind of take that however you want, Mike, what Bearded said.
Whatever it is, I'm ready.
You know what? He sent me a package. He sent me some 3-inch the other day. I haven't opened it yet. I'm a little scared to see what's in that box, so I'll open it up later. I might open it up tonight and share with you guys.
You should. We should save some time to open up some stuff. I got
Yeah.
something
Okay.
special today.
Yeah.
But while we're on the topic, I want to share some, some stuff I've recently done, some recent builds. But the first one I want to show off, and the only reason I bring it up now versus later, is because in itself is a cheeseburger, and I showed this on Instagram this week. But we've been talking about building at a different scale. I did some this week that I'll show off later that are much smaller scale than 1/12 and even smaller, right?
Yeah.
And you were talking about it earlier, but when you start trying something new, you go out and you look. I look, and I think you do the same thing. Look for other artists that are already doing it or ways to do it to learn, right? So I've been wanting to build in a smaller scale. Specifically, one of the biggest drivers is my mom asked me to build a Christmas village house for a Christmas village that she puts together every year. And I never thought about doing that or working in that scale. So I didn't know where to start. I could just start building a dio in small scale, but I don't know the measurements. I could go measure, right? But what I wanted to do is put something together that's already made, something quick, because time is very short these days, where I could get an idea, right, of how big some stuff is, how to put it together, and then cheeseburger it down the road, right? And so I found these on Etsy. You can find everything, digital cut files for these little just basic houses, right? And so I cut those out and then did what we did with like 1/12 and 1/18. And when I was done there, I sent the picture to you, and I was like, I think I can just do a little bit more and add it like an entire scene. And I ended up coming up with this, and you guys already seen it, but I ended up coming up with the scene.
That's insane. That's so good, man.
Yeah, credit to No More Laser over on Etsy for this file. But I took the file well beyond. There's styrene here. There's weathering. There's chipping. There's all these sorts of things. But now I have some experience. On the next build, I can take it, and do my own thing. But your point I want to drive is, when you're first starting out, go find that artist that you really admire, right? And try to, mimic what they're doing to build up your skill if you don't know how to do it. And then start burgering it, right? Make it your own skill, change it. And that's what I do. That's how I learn, right? Start dabbling and fail and then notice how you fail, fix it the next time. And
yeah. And that whole failure thing is a whole nother topic that we'll get into in a later episode. But dude, I really like what you did with that. So you did you upscale that then?
Actually, I downscaled it because.
Oh, really?
I just got white powder. Yeah, I took it down even smaller because I wanted MDF and I only had like a 14x14. So actually, the real one, I'm gonna actually probably use this again. But what I'm gonna go do is change all the details. Since it's just a digital file, I want more realistic windows. So I can use the measurements here, but then design my own stuff on top of it to make it more realistic. Put like a front porch, so when I scale it up, you'll see all these details. But I'll use this as like a base, right? And then, moving forward, I'll have a better understanding on how to build in the scale, sizes, and stuff like that. But no, this is actually smaller. I think I shrunk it down
164.
It may. I mean, it's almost close to these model trucks.
Yeah.
Because my kids were helping me, and I think it was my little girl's idea. She's like, "Oh, that looks like the Matchbox cars," and she's like 3, and I'm like, "What? Oh, you're right. Go grab me some."
Nice. There you go.
So she grabbed the tractor and she grabbed this little truck, and I was like, "That's perfect."
That is perfect, man. Dude, that's a whole scene right there. And did you sign it?
I was like at the end putting this on. I was like, "Oh, I can put my signature on there."
Nice.
So I lasered my signature.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, that's like, I don't want to go on a tangent here, but this is the type of stuff that I'm excited to build now. Just go more to like a single
firewood back there.
Piece. Yeah, look at that. So did you find it like when you were working in this small of a scale? This is the first time you've worked in this scale, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like, did you find yourself like, how do I explain this? Like getting more into the weeds with the details because it was a smaller scale.
Well, we kind of talked about this earlier, and cat's out of the bag. This week, I built a few, and I didn't really. I wanted it to look good, but I was building for the fun of building. So I was on the phone with you like 2 days ago,
Yeah.
and just thinking about things like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I didn't really think about how I was gonna do it. I just put it together and made sure it looked good at the end. And so I think that's where the snow came in, because like if the snow
Are
wasn't
you
there,
throwing it up?
yeah, it probably wouldn't look that good, right? But
Yeah.
honestly, this was just me free building, having fun with something I've not done before, and just utilizing stuff I had laying around the shop. That's mostly scraps, except for the MDF,
Yeah.
which was a new fresh board. I didn't buy it, but I had it. And then there's like little tufts of just some greenery I had.
Hell yeah.
Again, these are just Matchbox cars. I went and just have my little girl grab out of the toy bucket. This is a stick. I don't know if you remember this tree, but when I was first building the Epic City Diorama, we were talking, and these are the trees that I wanted to mold. And you're like, that's not a good idea. And I immediately stopped doing that, but the tree was still in the shop. So there it is.
There you go. Hey, you repurpose. You finally got a use for it. And then you got the poly on the smoke snack.
Yeah,
there.
random things I just found around the shop.
Nice. See, and that's when you got to take advantage. You just go into straight build mode, right? And I think you were making this point earlier. Like this is practice. I'm sure you've picked up and learned like some new techniques on this build that you can incorporate like on an actual like 112 build or future builds down the road, right? And I'm kind of in a similar boat. Like I've been building in a smaller scale, a 124 and then a 118 scale, and I'm actually cheeseburgering one of my old builds, right? There, I'll show you. So I did, I think probably one of the most iconic builds that I have, only because Darius has it in like a ton of his shots and videos, is that Chinatown Dio.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing
it's a killer Dio too.
Yeah, that's the second version. So this is actually 3.0, and I know I keep on saying it's 2.0 because I did one version, I hated it, trashed it, and then redid it, and then it turned out pretty nice. So, but this is 118, and it's not done yet, but
it looks sick. I love the brickwork.
Thanks, man. And it's like individual bricks, different color tones, different, like this is a new grout technique, and like a new I guess like window technique. Usually I just have this like wide open, right? Yep. But I figure I could paint it black, put a window on top, and then like frosted glass in the front and still give it like the illusion of depth. And then I got I don't know if it come up well on camera, but that whole like patchwork type texture on the side of the wall.
Yeah, it comes through. It looks great.
Yeah. So that's 118, and I picked up, or I applied some new techniques that I've learned from this. Hold on. I don't know if you could see.
Whoa, looks like somebody needs to cut their grass.
I need some weed killer. Weed be gone. God damn it. But yeah, like the concrete slabs, I got this is real dirt mixed in with like some AMS or VMS mud 2.0 smart mud, and then just grass, static grass.
Is that new Bluetooth mud?
The what?
Bluetooth mud? You said smart mud. It was a joke.
Oh, smart mud. That Wi-Fi mud. Yeah, and this is just, it's cork. And look, I laminated the side to give it like that. What do you call it? Museum?
Yeah, like a museum piece.
Yeah. And then this, I don't know. Yeah, you and I hopped on live, and
oh, I haven't seen it with the window in or the. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, dude.
What did you put behind the window? Is it just painted black?
No, it's the So I cut out a section, right? So
Yeah.
that's foam. I cut it out and then I black it out and then
Mm-hmm.
I put the glass over it, but I frost the glass. So it looks
The
like,
frosted glass. That's what I'm saying.
yeah. So that's the same technique over here. And like the window came out nice. You can see the cracks in the window, so I just scribed it from behind and then I frosted it up with like varnish, flat varnish. And then this gable came out pretty well,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. And it's just, it's techniques that I've picked up from like building model kits and just applying it. Um and I really like it. And now I can take these techniques and apply it to a couple like 112 commissions that I have planned for later this year.
I don't know, man. Working in these smaller scales, I don't know if I go back to 112.
Dude, I don't ever want to go back to 112. It's a whole different, oh man, how do I explain this? I feel more free when I'm building in a smaller scale, you know? A lot of the scaling can be thrown off too when you build that big. Like it's I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. So it's funny you mentioned that, and this kind of ties into like cheese bringing. I want to rebuild every single diode that I've ever made, right? Big or small, but like either in like a smaller scale or just redo it, learning these techniques. Like I feel like a lot of my work before scaling is just, it's all over the place, right? And it doesn't look, I mean, none of the stuff looks realistic. It's dioramas, but it doesn't look architecturally realistic, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know?
know. I mean, I think your stuff looks realistic and it looks good in scale, but really when you're talking about 118 or 112th and bigger, it's really meant to be, in my opinion, further out, right? That's when you look dealing with movies and you're building sets to
Yeah.
really set that world. And with smaller scales, that you can build those worlds so they fit in your hand,
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And
Now,
you
you know what?
just
You
it's
bring up a good
difficult.
point. It is the perspective. And I think because you and I had this conversation earlier, like at that, there's a lot of dead space with like a 112 diode because like let's think of like a 112 scale wall, right? Let's say it's all brick. Like in the real world, it's just a lot of just dead space and it's all brick. But like in a diorama, that shit looks boring. So you're gonna fill it up with greeble, like fuse boxes, wires, pipes, or whatever the case is. And that's only because you're looking at it like up close, but at a smaller scale, you're pulled out, right?
Mhm.
So you can have like maybe an inch section, square inch section that is just, empty space, but it still ties in and is still cohesive with the entire scene. So it's funny though, because the more I build in this smaller scale, I can now see the challenges in the bigger scales, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's eye-opening, man. I love it, dude.
Perspective, again, perspective is not just the view, it's your perspective on it, your mindset on it as well. And
Mhm.
going back to some of that, like 112th, really, unless you're dealing with those, more of a scene or like stop motion, 112th, is really, they're going to be up close, right? Their focus is a lot of times the figure. Well, where with smaller diodes, the diode is the center stage, and I think that's kind of what we're going for. For
Mhm.
us, the diode is center stage, so we focus on this bigger view. When really most people are looking for that kind of blinder
Yeah.
view.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, I think you and I, we primarily dabble in the toy community, right? And then
Mm.
maybe the diorama stuff is secondary. And I think it's, for me, it's slowly shifting to like the diorama stuff is becoming front and center. And when we're building, or in the past when I've built the dioramas, it's looking at it through a lens of a toy photographer or a display artist, right? Rather than the actual diorama artist. So again, shifting perspectives. And I think, if all goes well with the 118 and 124 scale stuff, then I hopefully will find a way to cheeseburger the entire 112 building aspect of it. It's going to be a lot of I don't know, man. Just a lot of trial and error. Just trying new shit out.
Let's get small.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I talked about this last week on toying around whenever I guest hosted with Jordan from Oilers Workshop, and one of the things you brought up, and I brought it up on there, was watching the documentary in census scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I binge watched that probably the next 2 days after you told me, and it
Hell
was really, that's when, like, I don't know, it's interesting, like the well, how do I want to say this? The perspective, or like the nudges you get from people in the community, and how it changes your mindset, right? And that's an example of that. Like, I started looking at things a little different based on just that documentary, just from you saying, "Hey, have you seen this?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's having the connection in the community, and then working with fellow artists, and just the conversation with artists, like it changes. It can change you
Mm-hmm.
quickly sometimes, right? And I'm thankful to have that. And with it
Well,
being
how did
Thanksgiving, that's one of
watching
the things.
sorry
No
how did
worries.
watching that though change your perspective? Like in what sense?
Well, so one of the big things for me building, especially in 1/12 scale, and I said this a minute ago, was like movies. I would love to be able to build for movies, and the real
Hell yeah.
that being realistic is kind of out the window after watching that documentary. And I don't want to make that look negative. It's facts, right? The digital CG has changed the game. There's still things that I believe you can do in modeling with movies, because they're not going to be able to blow up a building, a real building, several times, right? There's stuff they need that for, but the modeling, as much as it used to be, especially in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and probably early 90s, just isn't out there anymore. And the folks that
Mhm.
are doing it already, basically command those industries or those markets. And so that changed my mindset a little bit. But really, it was getting to know these individual artists and how they thought about things, and seeing their techniques, and like learning some of the little tricks of the trade, like um, it doesn't have to be perfect,
Mhm.
right? And I think that's one of the things that stops me from completing. And I think at this point I'm just rambling, but I did want to talk about this because I talked about it with Oilers, like that shot in Aliens 3. I'm a big fan of Aliens, where the exosuit, I forget what it's called, but when it's falling, that
The
one is actually the
power loader?
broken. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
That
saw
one's
that one,
actually
yeah.
broken, and it's not perfect. They put it back together with popsicle sticks. And so I'm like, always trying to build perfect, but a lot of times just how does it look? How does it look in camera, right?
Mhm.
And that's the biggest thing for me, like presentation, right? I think that's something that you're big about, right? Is how you present something.
Mhm.
And so why I want the model or the dial to look great, it also doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Machu is the one that said sometimes done is better than perfect.
Right. Yep.
Which it is a good point, because otherwise you'll be like me and have like a ton of unfinished projects and stuff. But it's it's a hard thing to shake off, and I think because we're so close to our projects, right? We've spent time day in, day out, and we're too close to it. Whereas an outsider will look and be like, damn, that shit is amazing. That looks good. But since you've been in the weeds for the past like weeks or months, every like imperfection and everything that drives you crazy about that dial. So we aren't capable of seeing that. One thing I did take away from that documentary though, which is dude, they would work in teams. They'd have a guy that would come up with basic structure, then he'd send it off to another guy for like details and molding, and then another dude for paint. And what, like, can you imagine like if there were a team of dial makers, like, I don't know, for example, I start off with the basic structure. I send it off to you, Mike. I'm like, you cheeseburger this. And then you send it off to like, I don't know, Lawless. Lawless, you cheeseburger this now, Like how crazy would that be for that particular
I
project?
think you're on to something. We should
I
probably
think we should
save
try
that
that
for
shit,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Just here we go. We'll start off and then just send it around the world.
That would be epic,
Yeah,
actually.
that'd be kind of cool. A 1 year collab project. Call it the cheeseburger of 2023.
Oh man, that'd be cool. We'll start planning that. I like it.
All right. You heard it here first, folks.
If it doesn't happen, sorry. Um,
Oh shit.
Chamba said a few things. Perfect doesn't exist, so done is legit good.
Yeah.
Chamba agrees, or Chamba bearded agrees. Haunted
Yeah.
Dreams, what's going on?
So man. Yeah, no, it's never going to be perfect. And like I fuck man. For example, like you know me and like my like precision cuts and everything has to be square and you can't have bent
The
corners.
magic.
Yeah, dude, the sorcery. No, I remember right before I packed up your dial, that cyberpunk dial that I sent to you, like
Mhm.
I like freaking dropped a hammer through like one of the boards or something.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
oh my god. And I had to cover it up with like some mirror board or something. But yeah, even this one where I try to keep it perfect, like it's not perfect. Like there's all these indentations at the bottom and the back just from like handling it. Like the scaling on the trim is off, you know. But I'm just gonna keep pushing forward instead of trashing it like last time. But yeah, I agree, Chamba. Nothing's ever gonna be perfect.
Right. I mean, this figure right here should have had a ball joint at the waist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of this. Like, so yeah, getting done a lot of times is what you want to do, the goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so since you have your builds up and we're kind of already talking about the builds, you want to talk about the builds we've been working on since the last show? It's been what, 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Yeah. Why don't you start off? I'm gonna grab something really quick.
Yeah.
But I do want to see in closer detail those 1/18 scale Star Wars or three
Yeah.
and three quarter Star
Sure.
Wars stuff. So
It is actually 1/18 scale, but
oh, is it? Oh, okay. Okay. Give me 1 second, Mike.
yeah. All right. So one of the things I've actually been working on a few dials this week. You can kind of see that behind me. I started out with kind of leaked this one, but was working on the quick stop. That's a 112 scale dio. And a lot of times I'll hit like not really frustration, but a challenge. And I'll just start building something else. Like to get away from a build, I'll go build. And one of the things I've been wanting to do before this even much smaller build I just showed off was build in a smaller scale, get out of 112 scale. And Mario's been building the 1/8, so he's inspired me to 1/18. Excuse me, he's inspired me to dabble in 1/18 scale, and I really wanted to build something for the vintage collection. And I had a bunch of doors left over from the tiny art experiment last year. Oilers put together a project with many builders from around the world, legit around the world. And I chose to do some Star Wars themed doors that I sent to Terraformer, who put together a piece for the tiny art experiment, which we talked about last week on Toying Around, which will be displayed at, oh man, I forget this con, but there's a miniature con in February over in Vegas. I'll
Yeah,
have
baby.
to remember the name of the con, but it'll be displayed there. Anyway, I just got a lot of inspiration. I had a bunch of these doors still left over. Um, and so they're actually too big for 3 3/4. So they're more true 1/18 scale. So I started free building this from scraps. This is the first Star Wars one I did in 1/18. And I just started putting together scraps that look good, just pinching pieces off, really just building in the moment, right? And I call that free building. I think I may have got that from Mario. But I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't even paint the door. I painted the door last. How awkward is that, right? Like you typically, that's not what you would do. So I honestly was just building in the moment, and it's fun to do that, especially when it's non-commission. But
Right.
I was just gluing pieces together. You could see like that hexagon stuff. It was a test I did for another diode like a year ago. So this is true, like
Scraps.
scraps, right? So I painted it white, and then I just started adding details like around the bottom here, just cutting stuff and just
Did
like
you mask off the for the red line?
I did mask that off. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Sweet.
And I actually put too much. It wasn't supposed to be that. You shouldn't be able to see the line. It should have been rubbed off. So I ended up just going back and sanding it off and then spraying it down. And that's something new I found out that I've not done before. And it caused a weathering streaking effect.
Yeah.
Like you see it better on this side. But what really happened with paint over time, right? That paint would wash off. with weathering and stuff like that. And then, like I said, I painted this white, and then I went through with some brown wash, drenched it, and then used I really like using the sprayer method to get true like runoff details. And it highlighted all the grout that I did. I used some grout and put it over and sanded it down in areas to get some.
That's
detail.
that premix
grout. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sick, man.
I got it.
I want to try that.
Yeah, Euler's has been doing on some of the tiny art experiment pieces he's working on, and I've had some of this for legit almost a year and a half and just haven't used it yet.
Is that like a paste? Is it like plaster?
Yeah, it's a paste. So I used it on the quick stop dio I was working on earlier this week. And I really should have started out with this piece testing it, but I just went all in and did it on there. And I liked it so much. I was like, this really looks like Mos Eisley or Mos Eisley or whatever kind of themed Star Wars. So I was like, I quickly wanted to do something with it. And this was the first piece. And then I just randomly found some like, it's just, I don't know. Just something that I had like tested some rust details on. And I was like, okay, that looks cool. I just glue it on. And it just, I don't know. It went with it.
You should like hang a flag off of that or something, you know?
That would I don't know. Something. But yeah, me and my little girl did this Thursday, Thanksgiving, before we went over and ate dinner. Or lunch. We did this about 4 hours in the morning. Like we were so into it. My wife had called me like 9 times. My other kid was sick. And I walked in like a couple hours later. Because when you get in the moment, dude, you really lose track of time. And I did. And I walked in after completing this, like, oh shit, mom's gonna be upset. Because like there was legit like 8 missed calls.
Holy shit. Nice. Did you build 2 in one day?
Actually, yeah. That night after we came home, my little girl came out again and found some scraps. Again, I still have these doors. These aren't even glued in. I still have all these doors that I've already pre-painted and stuff. And I was like, more scraps. Just aiming to build something different.
Yeah.
Again, man. All this stuff was already cut. Like I think I CNC'd this for that Star Wars or sci-fi dio I did for laser pants a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So just scraps I've held on to. I was just aiming to do something asymmetrical. I don't know.
Dude, scrap build challenges are fun. Like another idea. So usually the scrap build challenge goes like, hey, grab whatever scraps you have available at home, right? And I've participated in a few of those builds, and I've cheated in a few of those builds because I'll grab scraps, but I'm like, oh shit, well, I actually need some trim. So I'll grab like, something that's not in the scrap pile. But a better challenge would be scrap build challenge, but I send you a box of scraps and vice versa. You send me some scraps and you're like, hey, make something out of this box that I send you.
I've kind of done that already.
Did you? Who'd you send a box of scraps to?
Remember when I sent you that package that was in the shape of a package? Not only did it have scraps and cutoffs, it also had inspiration.
Yeah, I have that wall, and I'm going to incorporate that wall in.
You've legit used pieces out of that, I think, though, already. So I was just kidding, calling you out, but I think you used one for solar panels.
I did. For the salient, I remember that one, which I need more of that. That's great. There was something else. Oh yeah. Did you include the acrylic signs in that too?
No, I think it was a separate project, but yeah.
Yeah. And then I still have like that. Yeah, RG, start building, man. You can build something in an afternoon, Yeah,
there's no rules. It's just free building, man. It's so fun.
Oh man. You had like this really like Asian inspired type wall that you cut out of the laser and like this very like medium chipboard or something that would look really good in like a dojo, I think. I don't know if you remember
or
that.
I should.
No, you sent that to me and part of that scrap.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So, but yeah, that'll be fun. I guess I could talk about what I did with this thing.
This is-
Please.
that's
That's bearded all day. He'd be free balling it. He's trying to hit that flow state.
you better watch hitting it on something else. It hurt.
It's just smacking him around. So this I really like how the window turned out. That's reverse chipping, right? So I don't know if I know you do remember this, Mike, because you thought I had done the acrylic, not the acrylic, the latex technique where you dab latex, stipple some latex on and then rub off the top coat. But no, I primed the window, I painted it like a rust color, like the undercoat, and then with like a faded blue and a finer brush, I just went in with like an inconsistent, pretty choppy pattern. And then, I laid it on there, and then I went over it again with like a lighter. So I added some white paint with the blue and made it like a lighter version. So it adds like some depth. And then, the glass is just my those acrylic sheets that I use. Scored the back, frosted it, glued it. And then this, if you guys miss the Instagram live that Mike and I were on, I actually built this on the live stream, and this is made out of styrene. So I got the styrene sheet in the back, I cut it to form the shape, and then I lay down these strips. And the way I painted it was I primed it, black primer, and then I used I primed it with black primer, and I used a very high gloss black paint, and then as the base coat, and then I used a chrome airbrush paint from Green Stuff World. It is the best metal finish paint. You can even see
before you put that away. I still want to go back to the windows because you said you wanted to try this out to build up depth. And I really feel like on the windows, you built up that depth because it really looks like it's just a dark building behind it. And the cracks on the glass, I'm assuming, are on the backside, right? Where you frosted it?
Yeah. So I took
looks so good.
Yeah, I took my X-Acto and just lightly free balled some lines on the back. I obviously, because you're going from the back, I marked down where like the lines would be, because this is one solid sheet. It's not 4.5 separate panes. It's one solid sheet. So I marked down where the lines were just to make sure I didn't like overlap into the next piece of glass, right? Yeah. And a way to cheeseburger that, you could probably like rip off some pieces and actually have it broken. You can even and we talked about this on the live stream, I want to put something in the back, like either blinds or maybe some wires or stuff hanging down. But I think that would be another way to add the illusion of depth if you have something like kind of behind it. Like I think this might be a little too shallow on this build, because it's probably like a 1/2 inch deep. But I think blinds would probably be good enough to add that depth.
Yeah, I would like to say you do blinds. And
I think I figured it out, by the way.
Oh,
I
nice.
went to the dollhouse store and I picked up a bunch of material, so I'm going to try it out. We'll go live on IG when I try it out.
Nice, because I've been thinking about material I would cut, and one of the things that for it to be, especially 1/12 scale, even 1/18 or smaller, like it to be realistic, it's got to be pretty thin, right? Mm-hmm. And cutting on the laser with the air assist, like it will just blow it all away. And I'm like, how can I do this so I can get a bunch of them, right? I can go cut it myself by hand or use one of those sliding cutters. But I'd be very interested in what you do.
Yeah, I think because it's such a smaller scale, it can actually, it'll be tough to recreate that, because I was looking at stairs and nothing matches that scale. So I think what I'm going to do is just create the illusion of blinds. So my plan, and I'll share it with you right now and everybody, I think I'm just going to grab a sheet of styrene, and instead of it being separate horizontal blinds, I'm just going to scribe lines. So it'll look like, well, not that. That looks cool, by the way, but it'll look
kind of like, said stairs.
No, I was trying, my plan was to originally like use like stairs and put them in there because they're already angled. But I think, you know, something like this. Now, this is obviously like too big of a scale, but if I scribe lines and then just fill in, you know, those panel lines with like a dark enamel, black enamel or something, it could give the illusion of it's separated, right? I don't know. I'll tinker around with it. But speaking of this, this is the stuff that you bought, Mike. So this is what I plan to use for the roof. I'm just going to overlap them, right? And then just slap it on the roof, you know?
Slap it on the roof.
So
it was good. I like you cut them down into squares because that's realistic, right? It's not one big flat sheet, you know.
Yeah. And then I need to find some sort of material. I think I'm going to get like half round beads for like the bolts. I found some that are about like 1.5 millimeters in diameter. So hopefully that'll scale well. Now this was fun. And I feel, dude, anybody can do this. Anybody can make this base. This is just foam, cork board, and some paint and dirt.
Now, right? Was the cork pre-cut or did you cut that?
No. So the cork I bought, actually, it's it's cork that I had saved up from the Dio that I built for you, man. And that was a failed attempt. Originally, the street in the Cyberpunk Dio was going to be made out of cork, and it warped. Like, it does not like water. Cork does not play with water, glue, any of that shit, right? So when I originally built it for Mike, it started like warping, and I had to switch it out for foam. So I bought like overboard. I bought like 2 packs of 12 by 12 cork, and I just cut them down to, I think this is 1.5 by 3 inches. I cut a crap ton of these. I sanded the edges to give it like that, you know, round. And then, you know, I coated them with some acrylic putty. So it kind of gives it like a hard concrete look, you know? I mean, this shit is hard, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know which one. I'm trying to pick out one that you can kind of see. Like, you could see like it's I don't know, it's got like a thick layer, right? Yeah. So once it dries, you can actually crack the putty and rip some of the cork. And because the cork is very porous, it'll create these realistic cracks, right? So I did that. I cracked all of them. I had like, I don't know, probably like 30 or 40 of these pieces. And then I just laid them down in a grid. I didn't glue them. I used glue dots, permanent glue dots, to stick them all down. Obviously, because this is in like a weird angle, right? Because it's a weird perspective. I had to cut down and make sure that it was flush with the border. And then once everything was in place, I just, you know, filled in the cracks with some dirt.
Yep. And this is a work in progress piece, right?
Yeah. I still have a ton to do because I need to, you know, add some tufts and stuff to here. I still need to paint it up. I'm going to paint everything, including, you know, the grass. So this is probably like another month before it's done.
Is that 3-inch foam you use there?
No, this is 2-inch.
2-inch. Okay. Yeah. It looks thicker because you got everything on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I think cork is probably one of the most underrated materials you can use. It is sensitive. It does stink. It smells like wet dog, in my opinion. But
dude, it is a mess to clean up too, man.
Yeah, I mean, I use it in a lot of different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was an example of cork, and it's great, like for streets, for concrete. It just changes it up from, you know, the tried and true method, which is foam and a tinfoil ball, but it changes up that look, right? And I think it just makes it more interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think one thing to call out with cork is there are different grains. Like you can get real fine cork and real thick cork. So there's even variations within the material itself that you can find that'll help.
It's funny you mentioned that because the first pack, so I have 2 or 3 packs, right? The first pack that I got was a fine cork sheet. And I'm like, this doesn't look like concrete or road. And then I looked, there's actually coarse cork, right? So, and then there's different thicknesses too. There's some that come in a roll. But yeah, cork is very versatile. I'm even thinking about making walls out of this cork, you know, some concrete walls.
That'd be
And
cool. Yeah.
you know, you never know. And if you guys are watching this, you know, if something's sparking, you know, an idea, go try it out. Tag us and let us see that shit, man.
Hell yeah.
Just I wanted to make this point with the whole cheeseburger thing. Ron Lawless Studios says this thing, and it makes me think of the cheeseburger. He's like, as diorama artists, especially like when they're participating in lives and looking at other work and drawing inspiration, he's got this, he calls it this osmosis. And I remember, because Lawless is the king of trees still in my eyes, right? And that's how I started. I was watching his tutorials, and I started doing like his trees. And I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna recreate your stuff. You cool with that? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you're gonna try it. He's like, you're gonna perfect it, and then you're gonna put your own spin, and then you're gonna show me, and then I'm gonna be inspired to try some new shit. So it just keeps feeding itself. 78's what's up, man?
Yo.
So yeah, it's just the constant cheeseburger cycle, man. So I am interested to see what else, you know, others do with cork.
78 just came in. What's up, 78? Go check it out. He is releasing a new dial today, I'm pretty sure. A rooftop style dial. Looks awesome. The picture he took with Peter B. Parker is killer.
Yeah.
Go check that out, guys. Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, it is a cycle. It really is. And you know, I'm personally going through a cycle where like these builds I did this week are just like quick, you know, what do I have in the shop type builds, but then putting in my expectations when I build, right? Even though they're quick, even though they're dirty, I'm putting, you know, what I've learned from all the previous builds into these builds. And it's fun just to sit there and free build and apply skills.
Free ball.
Free ball, whatever we're gonna call it, cheeseburger and free balls. And you know, just building, it's fun. And that's what I got in the hobby to do, right? Even though there is commission work, it can be kind of stressful. Like I got in the hobby for the fun of the build, and that rekindles a lot of the love, man.
Yeah. And you freed up some workspace recently.
I did. I actually got all my wife. We came home today from the birthday party, and I told you I ordered like 21 cubic feet of packing peanuts, pink packing peanuts. So the entire like front of the house had all these containers. Like they were just shipped in plastic bags. So you can see what they are. Like 6 or 7 bags. Just you couldn't even get in the door, dude. It's just like, what is this? And I was like, I got to ship that dio. She like immediately understood. That's how cool she is about the hobby. She's like, oh, nice. Okay, I get it. And, but yeah, I got all the packing material in so I can start actually packing it up. I'll probably, you know, take it to the terminal hopefully by next week and be officially done, which will get me a lot of the shelf space back, because that dio's, even though it's broken down, like off the build table, like it's taking up all the overhead space. So I just need to get it out of here.
Dude, this would be a perfect time to do like a makeover. Like a shop makeover, you know?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I am doing a couple at the end of the year, every year I do something a little new. Like 2 years ago, I got the laser. This year, I'm actually putting in real AC. I've been running like 2 window units, which is crazy, a lot of electricity and bill, but it doesn't heat in the winter. So I'm actually putting in a mini split unit to get heat and air, just a little more, you know, tolerance out here. So like, you know, we talk about 3D printing. When it gets cold, you can't 3D print, right? And it's getting cold here, even though it's not like Chicago or Canada, it's still enough to impact the print. So getting a standard temperature out here would be good for, you know, those kind of things, as well as, you know, my work life out here. So there's going to be some revamp, and then hopefully I can get you down here again. And by then, I want to get a new paint booth. So I'm going to show this off, actually. How do you say it? It's PASS. It's the airbrush brand. Push. Here, let me just pull it up. I think it's a subsidiary of Iwata.
The Poshk?
Yeah, Poshk. They make a booth. It's like 4x4. It's an all steel booth with the integrated filter. I made my own years ago, but I need something bigger, more industrial to pull out all the fumes that I'm working with.
Right.
And so you can get this 4x4. Either you can get like a bench, which is kind of long, that's only 4x3, or you can get a 4x4 kind of stand-up shelf with all that integrated, including like the explosion-proof blower. Right, it's like 1,500 cubic feet of air it pulls out. Right, which is when you're doing rattle can stuff and spray stuff.
Right.
When you're doing this work, guys, my point is you want to keep all those things out of your lungs, right? You want to be healthy about it. I've got some filtration, but really need to pull more of the paint stuff out. So investing in a new paint booth this year as well. So those two things, I wouldn't normally talk about them, but you brought up a shop renovation thing. So, and that'll free up some space for some shelving on the back here. So I'm hoping to have all that.
Yeah, dude. That's always been a dream of mine to have a dedicated paint booth. I mean, fuck, I'm limited with my, space. I paint in the kitchen, but I use acrylics. So the shit is a little bit safe. You still don't want to breathe in,
You don't
like
want to
any
breathe
of
it
that
in, but yeah,
thinner
it's
or
not.
anything. But it's not
Yeah.
like I do have lacquer paint, which is probably the most toxic paint to use. So and usually I paint that shit outside, but yeah, man, a spray booth is much, much needed, much desired for me at least. Dude, what did I show you the so I found an airbrush that is kind of like like an auto detail shop airbrush. It's got the cup and everything on top.
Oh, nice.
I think Mr. Hobby makes that. I still haven't used it because it's just too much paint blasting out of there,
Well, for a lot of the bigger projects, some of the stuff, can't tell you guys, but some of the stuff me and Mario talks about offline, at some point it's going to require sprays, of larger quantity of a similar color. And those kind of applications are warranted. So real quick though, and points, guys, if you end up buying something like that. Here are the benches, and I think these are really cool because while they're expensive, I do want you to consider that this is all integrated, high cubic, feet of, high volume air being moved.
Yeah.
These are quality pieces. They're expensive, but still reasonable if you are serious about your hobby, or if you're, small business or growing. Right, you can get 3 foot, 4 foot, 8 foot, and 6 foot, all under $3,000. And these move air, right? And so these are still, you can put them in your shop. They're small, and they come with, integrated lights. They come with the fan. Again, this one's 1,300 cubic feet. And then the one that I'm looking at right here, and again, it's expensive, but for what it does long term, you're going to use this. If you're serious about the hobby or you're a small business, again, you're going to use this. And so this is the one I'm looking at. It's 4x4. It's got a shelf. This is going to fit big and small projects. Still have a platform to sit on. And again, this one's 24 cubic feet, 2,400 cubic feet. So it's pulling air. And I'm out here, just about every day spraying. So this is for my health. I'm investing in my health as well as the hobby. But
yeah,
one of the
it
things
comes with a case of filters too. That's nice.
Yeah, 20 pack of filters, integrated light. The filter's built in, so all you got to do, not the filter, but the exhaust. All you got to then do is just plumb it. I guess the right word is plumb it, exhaust it, pipe it to a vent, right? And at that point, you just assemble, and that's it.
Freaking shop goals, man. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll swing by again.
Yeah, you got to. But yeah, those things I'm looking at next year, bringing in. Now that I guess next year is the 5-year mark, and we're taking it a little bit more seriously. I think invest in something like that. I've had a homemade spray booth for years. It has worked, but need something a little more. It's going to pull the air out, more clean air in here. So
yeah, I would subscribe to that. Are you? Did you sell that CNC? Are you going to keep that or what?
That's funny because my other buddy's been asking me the same question, Brandon. But instead of waiting, he went ahead and Shipoko Carbine 3D had a sale, Black Friday sale, and he went and he bought the new Shipoko Pro XXL. So points, by the way, I think he got add-ons. That's like 3K points, maybe 3,100 points.
Damn it! I gotta update the enablers.
Yeah, I told him to tag me as soon as he gets it set up. It's still sitting in the box, but that also means he's got to build a table. So I think I get all the points that come with this thing, right?
Yeah, I would.
So,
I would sign off. Wait, is this the same dude that bought an F-150 last year?
yeah, it is. It is. Yeah,
There's something going on here, man. Some collusion or something.
Hey, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to get 2 million points in a year, so
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
right,
going to
yeah.
win this year.
Yeah,
But
you have
I've thought about selling the CNC. One of the problems is it's so big. It's got to be a local person, because then you're going to have to like realign it, re-level the bed, which makes sense. You'd want to do that anyway if you're buying it. I think it's more of a hassle to get rid of it, even though it would free up some space.
Yeah.
But I still like the novelty of it. And there's still material that you cannot cut with the laser, like PVCs and other plastics and stuff like that. And so it still has, to me, some value in the shop. We'll see another couple of years, but I may sell it down the road.
Wait, I'll be right back, dude. I don't know how the fuck I cut myself, but
you're not even building tonight.
I know, dude.
Jeez.
Oh, well. Hold on.
All right, guys, you got to see blood tonight for no reason, even after all the clean cuts last episode. There's blood on the stream. Excuse me, wipe my nose. So let's see, what else do I have? I think that's it for my builds. I'll show this off real quick.
Oh, dude, there's some beef that got sparked because of the clean cuts. I'll bring that up later. Ooh, baby, let's look at this shit.
So, I've been working on this, trying some new methods. This is where I first used the grout on. Did some paper mache up here at the top. This is styrene covered foam. Oh, you can't even see it. Styrene. Thank you. Styrene covered foam. And worked in a 1/2-inch foam. It's thin.
Wait, styrene covered foam?
Styrene covered foam right here.
Oh, snap. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, because it would be flimsy without anything under it. So
yeah.
it's support material. What I don't recommend, and you guys may have a thought, don't try to cut your foam to a shape and then melt styrene over it, because styrene it's so sensitive to heat. You could probably slowly mold it around, but it's too heat sensitive. To me, I must rush it because it bubbles up and then it melts your foam. It's just it doesn't work. But
you need to get a dehydrator, Mike. I'm telling you.
Maybe. On the other piece, so this is one side. This is the quick stop side, and then this is the video side. And I think I did a much better example. Oh, I got some. I'll have to shave that down. Of hiding the seams on this side a lot better. So
it's all glued together then?
It's all glued. It's going to be one piece. Nice. I really like it this way. And then the underside will have the sidewalk. And the only other piece that'll be a part of this is just the parking lot. So the sidewalk will be attached to this.
Yeah.
And then there will be a modular like sidewalk. So you can use it or not use it. But I started thinking about shelf space. If you want to put this on a shelf, if it's more than so many inches, you really start getting, to a point where you don't have shelf space for it. You can't sit on a shelf nice. But if it's thin, especially if it's just going to be mostly viewed from this angle, there's no point in really making it realistic and super deep, right? And then making it one piece, I don't know, it feels more premium to me and heavy. I don't know. I like one piece build.
Yeah,
I talked about it last week. I'm really tired of putting a bunch of magnets and stuff, right?
Dude, yeah. And I think, well, Mike, if you think about it, that real, I think we're all diorama artists, especially the ones that do it for like the toy photography aspect. But like these miniature artists, they're not thinking of like, how do I make it collapsible, or, they're just thinking of the actual piece. And it goes back to my earlier point of looking at a build through the lens of like a toy photographer or a display artist. Like, it makes so much more sense, structural sense, to glue the pieces together, and have it one solid thing. That's why I love now just building out of solid blocks of foam, Screw magnets. I'll say it.
Yeah. I mean, I
Screw
also
magnets.
use them, but I don't want to make like 4 walls for each one of those pieces. I just don't want to do that. It won't
Yeah.
line up well. It's always going to be somewhat woppy,
You'll
right?
always have a seam line.
Yeah,
You know.
going to have a seam line. You can avoid all that, and structurally, it's more sound.
Mm-hmm.
And if you build like thin, like now it's different. If you're building like a huge city, you're gonna have to have it modular and break down, right? Just can't get past that. But
Right.
like something simple like that, or even a smaller scale, you know, ain't no way I'm putting a bunch of magnets in that, you know.
No.
So you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Or even like this. Like I could have put magnets in this, but I don't want to. I want it to be a solid piece.
Yeah, for sure. Nice, dude. Are you gonna add the your whole glass depth technique thing where you put like the image behind and
And the quick stop?
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do that. So yeah, some there's proper signage to make it depending on what's the right word I'm trying to say? Which movie it is for Clerks, whether that 1, 2, or 3. What is that? I forget what it's called. But anyway, it'll have proper signage based on which movie. I'm just gonna do the first movie. And then inside, I think for the most part, I will put, on the quick stop side, an image on the inside, but I think that'll really take care of it because you can't really see in the video store. Actually, you can. So, yeah, there's a window in the video store. So we'll have to do like a line of movies, but it's pretty simple because it's boxed.
Right.
And
yeah, when you do that, can you like do a tutorial? Because I still have not figured that whole shit out, from like sourcing the image to printing, cutting. Yeah, screw magnets. You know what I mean? Like that. I want to do that for some of these builds, but I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. But for whatever reason, I can't comprehend it.
It's really just layering, right? So like I could talk about my blue in the face. I don't know if it'll help, but like on the glass, you have the signage. We're open, closed, whatever. And then in the very background, you have like an image of something. I did it in the McDonald's, right? I had like the back kitchen. It took me forever to find a source image. And then in between, like the middle ground, you have something. In the McDonald's, for example, was the sign, right? The light up sign. In the comic book store I did for Parallel, it was the ToyingAround t-shirts hanging. So it just adds that depth. And when you shine some light from the inside, it looks really good. But again, that doesn't really, it's got to be
You know
seen.
what? It would be much easier if there were like, I don't know, some sort of artist, maybe an artist in the chat right now that could, we could commission to like create some sort of like image that we could put behind, so I don't know if somebody wants to volunteer, hit me up. I got a couple ideas, but because like sourcing images, you got to find that right perspective, that angle, and sometimes it's better to just create shit instead of trying to find something that'll potentially fit in, so
Yeah, I mean, you can play with like perspective in Photoshop and get some cool results. I've done that before, but not every image is going to be useful or as high as quality as, maybe what you're looking for. So, yeah, being able to generate, a unique image for it will probably give a much better experience for the Dio.
Yeah. So if anybody knows Illustrator or whatever, hit us up, please. I'll commission that shit.
Slide into the DMs.
Dude, I mean, it's good to have people in your pocket that can help you with builds, like the signs that you made, which I need more, by the way.
The acrylic signs?
Yeah, I have an idea. And I was thinking if you can go a little bit thinner on the acrylic sheet, but I think you said it has to be a certain depth.
No, I can do thinner. We could do 1/8. I think that was a 1/4 inch.
Yeah,
I'm always like messing with things. Like I cheeseburgered my own stuff by those previous signs. I did the park signs on the McDonald's, right? That had like the acrylic on the inside. I actually layered acrylic, 2 different color acrylics. And if I do that in a thinner, and I got that idea excuse me, let me make sure I give credit. I got that idea from Route 9. Route
Yeah.
9, right? Route 9, who
Yep.
we met at Decon a year ago. I got the idea of doing the acrylic for the neons. You know, unfortunately, it's really hard to do true neon light up, but you can get the appearance of neon using thin acrylic. And so I got the idea from
Yeah.
him. But I think it'd be cool to do that some
Yeah.
more.
I found as I was cleaning this past week, because I was trying to make room for the Christmas tree, right? I found just god damn, dude, I have like totes of just material that I bought years ago, thinking like, oh shit, I'm gonna use this really quick, like for did you okay. What is that?
That's one of the small acrylic
Is
pieces
that
I did.
acrylic?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, to the neon signs, right? So what it is, it's glass bent in like the form of like letters or whatever, right? In real life. And then it shoots like, I don't know, plasma or whatever, like some neon gases to emit the light.
Gas.
I found, I don't even know what I bought this material for, but it's just wire. It's metal beading wire. And I started bending my own like letters, which takes forever, man. You know what I
I
mean? I
bet.
got through like 1/7 in like an hour, but it's, it looks like tubes, especially like at this small scale. And then I was just gonna spray it with like a neon,
Ooh.
what is it called?
Like fluorescent?
Fluorescent, yeah, fluorescent paint. And then, just do the whole trick, shine a UV light on it. But yeah, man, bending like just this thin gauge wire into that shape. I think it could work. So
Oh,
we'll see.
definitely. It would just take a lot of time. But that's what adds that's a lot of those handmade things, right? Credit to those folks that do that. And you've been doing a lot more here lately too. Instead of like relying on 3D printing, which we have full capabilities of doing, or
Mhm,
laser cutting, like building small stuff by hand.
mhm.
That's one, right? Bending the wire to make the neon signs instead of cutting it out. I was making like little locks this week for this
Yeah,
clerk's dio with wire and like cutoffs of some remnant material I found on the floor to make little tiny locks.
yeah,
So it's cool to do that. Now, doing it in bulk, it would suck, but doing it for one-off projects is fun, right? It's
yeah,
creative and fun.
yeah, yeah. I think for me that like I have no deadline with this dial, so I can just sit there and try shit, And if a sign takes me like a week to make, but then the results are awesome, it'll be worth it for me. But yeah, I've been finding a lot more, um, I guess like enjoyment in handcrafting the stuff. I even thought about like scratch building a window, but I'm like, no, I could just do that in Tinkercad and print it out and it'll be, just as good. But like these little detail things will be really, really nice. I'm even trying to like figure out like what the hell I'm gonna use for wire. I ran out of this other like this vinyl coated
Is it the white wire?
yeah, but I had black.
Oh yeah, it's
I had
hard
a
to
whole
find.
bunch of black, and then I obviously I stocked up on the white one for like the Spider-Man webs, but the black I just for whatever reason, and they don't make it anymore. So I'm like I'm hunting for that. Um, but I gotta think of something. I have guitar string. I was telling Bearded the other day, I have like a pretty thick gauge guitar string that looks like it could be some sort of like electrical wire or something in this smaller scale. Probably wouldn't work for like 112. But I'm gonna try that. So, but dude, like even like I hated bricks at 112. And I still kind of hate bricks, but like at this scale and like hand carving, like I touch every single brick. It's it's kind of as weird as it sounds, it's been a little enjoyable, because I have to go in and I have to round out every single corner of each single brick. And like there's no avoiding it. Like it has to get done, you know? So
Right.
just sit there, put on a podcast, put on like a fucking enabler live stream and sit there for like 6 hours and just start carving away, get lost in the build. So it's fun. Oh yeah, dude. I was talking to Bearded and he's like, have you ever thought of using brake
Oh,
lines?
because they're metal, right? You can bend them.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah. They
great
even have
idea.
like stainless steel braid. They're braided. The brake lines are braided, dude. So Yeah, I'm gonna try that shit, dude.
You know, I'm hearing a lot of ideas, Bearded. I want to see some dios.
Yeah, Bearded. Why don't you start sharing Mike? Show him what you're packing. I mean, what you're cooking.
I tease. I think he sent me some stuff before, but I'm these creative ideas. I want to see them. I want to see you making stuff.
Dude, I really think I would throw Bearded in that rotation, for the whole cheeseburger project for 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I would even send it to Chamba. Chamba can throw some artwork on like the side of the wall or some shit, man.
Oh, I think that'd be awesome.
Get him like some acrylic paint pens or something, and
yeah,
that would be fucking dope, dude.
Totally do it, man. Some graffiti or something like that. Even some like signage or something. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Going back to some of the stuff we were saying earlier, like, it's a skill that people can pick up. Like Bearded, for example, is doing the same things we're doing just with signs, but it could easily translate to what we're doing. Obviously, he's doing it in the background, right? He's already got these creative ideas. Same thing for Chamba, right? Those things translate to the creativity. Exactly.
Yeah, this would be good dio material right here. Yeah, but Chamba, it'd be worth it for the project, for the collab.
But also though, he could collab in a collab. I said it the same way you did. Collab the same way, but digitally, right? He could just create something and then we can print it out, high quality or something like that too.
Yeah.
For a billboard or signage. But I think there are other ways too that we could use him for do some laser etching or some designs, like some killer cyberpunk designs on acrylic. There's a whole bunch of things we could do that we could do digitally.
Check this out, because you know how every year we do a Toys for Tots thing or some sort of like St. Jude's thing. For 2023, that project will be auctioned off and proceeds go to our charity.
Yeah, I like the idea. Yeah, so 2023, a big collab, end of the year charity.
Nice. Hell yeah. We'll see how many people we can get on board for this.
Got 2 at least.
You and
Us. Me? Yeah.
There you go. Well, we'll get these kids something.
I think Chamba's interested. I think Beard is interesting. RG may be interested. RG just called out exactly right. His wife showed him how to use the circuit for balsa wood cutting.
What?
Yeah.
You can do that for balsa wood? I probably have to be a certain thickness, right?
It is. I think the newer machines also, they allow a much more deeper or thicker material too. So you can use it to cut, and then you can buy specialty blades that will actually cut thicker material. But I'm still sure he's not working with like thick stuff. But there's a whole bunch of now intricate work you can do for windows, because it doesn't have to be thick for windows or doors or wall decorations or whatever accessories.
Well, dude, I mean, I'm sure that there's some Black Friday deals right now for Cricut. I'm gonna check.
Look there. Speaking of, go support Diorama raffle for Toys for Tots. That's awesome. Check it out.
Yeah.
Right blade.
Hit me up, RG. Send me a link. Let me look into this, because I've thought about.
You have a machine?
No, I've thought about getting one, or Cricut or a Silhouette, for like vinyl, so I could put like for signage, right? Yep. For some of these dials. Yep. But I mean, as multi uses, even for, I've seen, I think it was Untested. Norm had cut out acrylic or styrene sheets. Like he designed like some Star Wars walls in Illustrator, threw it up on the Cricut, and then just started punching it out, and then he laid clear acrylic on top, so it added like the illusion of depth. It was pretty cool. But I've been thinking about getting that.
I have extra blades. If you get a Silhouette, I have a Silhouette Cameo 2 or whatever.
What'd you get it for?
My mother-in-law gave it to me. I used to do like vinyl stickers and stuff on the early days of Instagram.
Oh, nice.
And then till about a year ago, I was using it for signs and windows and wood, just like RG was talking about. But it can only get a certain thickness, and I was really messing the machine up by putting thicker material in there. But I was able to get through it. But once I got the laser, like I don't need to do it anymore. But I have extra blades. They're like third-party blades, but they allow you to get sharper cuts, or not sharper cuts, deeper cuts using, probably not for what you're supposed to use it for. But the newer ones, I think 4, maybe 5, and the new Crickets, they can handle certain ones can handle thicker materials, and then with the right blades, like you can get good cuts. So
you can cut balsa wood on the laser, right?
yeah, you can.
You can cut anything on the laser. Okay.
Well, except for anything that's going to put out some kind of toxic
fume
material or non-organic. So CO2. So unless you're like high wattage, like 155 watts or higher, you can't cut non-organic materials. Like at 155, you can cut steel, but that's because there's some carbon in steel. But you can't cut like, aluminum. You can etch it, but you can't really cut it. But yeah, anything organic, CO2 can cut.
I gotcha. Yeah, dude. Now we're starting to get into the whole like ideas rambling. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the fun part, and I like the idea, dude. You should go definitely get one of those Crickets and start doing some crazy shit, man. Because
I really got to learn Illustrator, dude. It's been like on my to-do list for the past ever since I got Adobe Suite, which is back in 2019. Illustrator has been like, I think it's a valuable skill set, just like, sculpting and like ZBrush or something like that, especially for like our hobby. Like, dude, can you imagine? Like,
but I think that's a great idea, but a lot of the basic stuff you can do right inside this, for example,
their
software. Yeah. Like I really should be designing with Lightburn in another software and bringing it in, but I end up just doing it in the Lightburn software. Same for the silhouette. I just do it right there. But as you evolve and want to do more complex things, it probably makes more sense to do it in Illustrator or something.
Yeah. They're on sale right now. Cameo 4 Plus is $360. I think it's $40 off. I'll take a look. Huh. Now we're at the portion where we start shopping. Black Friday deals. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about our homework session last week, or the demonstration that I did with the clean cuts. So our dear friend Kit Bash Customs had called me out on one of his videos saying like it's impossible. Mario's lying. He can't get these clean cuts, even though I demonstrated on the last stream. But bless his heart, man. He tried. Fresh blade, and he just came up with this like jagged edge. I don't know if you saw the video.
That was a fresh blade? There ain't no way. It's like even if he karate chopped it, it'd have been cleaner. Honestly, when you score and break it, dude, even if you ripped it, it'd have been cleaner than that. Like that was jagged. That was intentional.
Some people were like blade shaming him too. They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna use that dinky ass blade." but no. And then I was like, "Yo, dude, this is how you do it, man." But shout out to him, man, for calling out the clean cuts and attempting, even though it was a failed attempt. Hey, man, you still you gave it a shot. And then I came back at you with like, a correct tutorial. So hopefully you learn from that. He said that he's going to do an updated video. So I'm eagerly awaiting his response to my response. So stay tuned. Shout out to you, Kit Bash. I have a feeling this is the beginning of some beef.
I apologize. It's very rude of me, but I had a concerned customer that bought something from me, and I needed to quickly address it.
What do you mean? A rude customer?
No, they weren't rude, but so I am trying to get a certain status on Etsy for quick responses, and so I respond within minutes to try to earn that badge. So there's quick response, and someone had bought a digital cut file and asked if I could provide an STR. I'm not familiar with what STR is, and I was letting kindly know that I can do SVG or DXF, which is for typical light, or laser cutting.
Oh shoot. Just sent you 2 Cyber Monday Amazon links for Cricut.
Aren't you trying to get points?
Yeah, I know.
I was subtly trying to push the silhouette. Thanks,
I know. I picked up on that.
He point blocked me.
You sure did. Well, I'll take a look. We'll see. We'll see. You want to get into some toys right now?
I'm down to get.
You got something open?
That's the whole thing about this hobby revolves around the toys. Yeah, so I got something to open. I got one thing to open, and so there's been a couple recent tragedies for the toy community. This week with Jason David Frank, we found out earlier this week, he was definitely suffering. He was dealing with some stuff, and he took some measures to try to help himself. But either way, we lost a hero of mine since I was a kid. Growing up watching him, play the role of Tommy Oliver, which is, he's owned that role. He's owned the Power Ranger role. Like, he's probably the longest running Power Ranger in history. Yeah. At this point, being the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, Lord Draken. He played the Red Ranger, and, he was also on the TV show as a professor at one point, and then coming back as Tommy Oliver. And then I think it was like he played some Black Ranger. And so, like, I just want to play a tribute to him for one of the best known, to me, the White Ranger. As soon as I heard of, his death, like, it hit me hard. And I've been wanting to pick these up. I have the Red Ranger. So I picked up the White Ranger, Green Ranger's on order, and then Draken's on order. I think these are supposed to be pretty cool. I thought we would honor Jason David Frank, aka Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, by opening this tonight.
That's 3-0, right?
This is 3-0. That's correct. I think this is the only, decent to really good 1/6 scale Power Ranger. Probably the most detailed Power Ranger on the market as of right now. I don't think, maybe Mezco may top that. Yeah, we'll see. If they make a Green Ranger and White Ranger, I'll be all in on that. But just the 5, I think I talked about this on unboxing, like, I'm not into. But if they come out with a White Ranger,
which did you like? Did you like the Green Ranger or the White Ranger? Preferably,
I like them both. Reason being is because, one of the first reasons was he came on the scene after the fact, after the team was already, you are already made aware of the team, right? And so me and my brothers, I have 2 stepbrothers, would argue who's what. And my older brother would want to be the Red, and which is fine, he's the leader. But then when the Green Ranger came out, that was my opportunity to be like, I'm the Green Ranger, right?
Yeah.
And so I owned it, and then when he became the White Ranger, I just take it on because my brother had fought so hard to be the Red Ranger. I was like, you can continue to be the Red Ranger, right? And so just from wanting to be him and watching him act, and there was things that Jason did with the role, and you will see if you pay attention. Like, I don't know if this was scripted this way, but just how he morphed when he said Dragon Zord or Tiger Zord. Nobody else had Zord in their morph, but for some reason, like, that sticks with me. Like, he always had double syllables, and it made his morphing so much more cooler.
He cheeseburgered it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he just owned the Power Ranger role. Not only that, he had gold. He always had his shield. I don't know why, but, like, even filming, like, there was that many episodes where, like, Tommy always was, like, solo. Even though he was doing things, he was always filmed solo. So, and he had his own song, like, Go Green Ranger Go. Like, he was always special. And I don't know if people realized that at first. Oh, hey, can we get rid of these sex bots?
I just did.
Bearded, where you at? And if you guys need to, go find your love.
Bearded must have been taking a nap. I took care of it.
But yeah, me rambling about my
dude. So I kind of have I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take, but dude, I think I like the White Ranger better than the Green. The Green Ranger is sick, right? But the White Ranger, like, and I do like those Zords, the new Zord. Like, what were they called? It wasn't the Ninja Zords, wasn't?
Lightning.
Wasn't? Oh, man,
It was
like
Lightning. I think it was Lightning. Wait, so he had the Tiger Zord, and then he had the Falcon in the movie.
Right. Okay, so that was the Ninjetti. Do you remember? So the Tyrannosaurus turned into like the Red Dragon Zord, the second version of the Zords. That's what I liked.
Yeah, that was Lightning.
Yeah, the crane. No, it wasn't the crane. But yeah, I remember when the White Ranger came out. I was like, holy shit! He just cheeseburgered the Green Ranger. I really like the White Ranger. I think I like it better than the Green Ranger.
I mean, all the way down to his weapon, right? Even though the Dragon Dagger was cool, Saba, dude, was a whole nother level, man.
Mm-hmm.
And even to the outfit, like outfit was cool.
And it looked a little more sleek, you know. I never liked the whole like lips in like the mask, you know, and his was just looked like Optimus Prime, you know.
Yeah.
Like the face part right here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, he definitely cheeseburgered the Rangers, period. And he did that with the Green Ranger. But
he did.
I think the Green Ranger just hits me from...
He was whipping that Red Ranger's ass off every week.
Oh, yeah, man. But green's one of my favorite colors. Green and gold look good. He was evil and then became good. There's a whole storyline there. But, I mean, either way, it's Tommy Oliver. It's the same dude, just a different outfit. So it was cool. And again, like he always feel like he went extra with the role. So
oh yeah, he absolutely did. He lived it, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. If I was to be an actor, would I want to own a role or would I want to be diverse in my acting? And I guess it's niche either way. But for Jason David Frank, like he owned the Power Ranger role, right? Especially for the Green Ranger, White Ranger. Like he'll be forever infamous for that.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the role. Like Kevin Conroy, that's Batman, you know, and rest in peace to Kevin Conroy too. But like that's not a bad role to own, to be typecast as Batman, because you are Batman. He is Batman. There is no other Batman. You know?
What?
What? Who else is a better Batman?
A veteran, like, are we talking about animated? Because I can go with Michael Keaton.
All right, this is the last episode of the build. We're done.
I would agree. Animated Kevin Conroy is like, if you hear his voice, like you're like, is it on? Yeah. Like I totally agree. Like he owns it. But
there's for me, like whenever I think of Batman, or if I was like playing with my toys as a kid or as an adult, you know, I always think of animated series style Batman, that mannerism, you know, Kevin Conroy's voice, obviously, like that. He like there was no other, and don't get me wrong, I love Bale and Keaton as Batman. You know, I even like what's his name? The newest Batman.
Patterson?
Yeah, Pat.
But I guess your point is he didn't play the role as long, or is the most iconic for the role.
Yeah, I mean, just that Kevin Conroy is my definitive Batman for sure, and I think it'll always be, because with those other ones, you know, and I think it's because he came out before them and just played the role so well. Like, you know, with Pat, with Bale, like something was lacking, and it was that Kevin Conroy factor that was lacking for me. Not to take anything away from them, because they crushed in their roles, but dude, nobody can cheeseburger Kevin Conroy, in my opinion. What'd you do?
I hit a button on the stream deck, and for a second I thought I ended the stream. But yeah, no one else has ever played. I'm over here waving a knife at you. I'm sorry. No one else has ever played the Green Ranger. Well, I guess they played the Green Ranger.
Adam played the Green Ranger. Adam was a Green Ranger, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. There was other people that played the different Rangers.
Oh, no,
but no one ever played Tommy Oliver.
Tommy wasn't he was always like a oh shit, how do I say this? Like he was his own ranger, you know? You had the core team and then you had like that special ranger from what I remember, you know?
It is, yeah, it's true, and I don't know why that was. If that was always intentional, or I don't know.
Man. Yeah, either way, dude. Fucking huge loss. Let's see this oh yeah.
What are
Dude,
you opening up tonight?
that box art is great. I don't have anything to open. And in fact, I got a lot of stuff coming in.
You're the one
for
that asked if
enablers.
we wanted to open stuff tonight. You don't have anything to open.
Well, I wanted to see this thing be open. I mean,
I know if my hands are clean enough to touch this.
yeah, go wash your hands really quick before you handle that. I mean, I have some 3-0 stuff that I could open. I still haven't opened up my Ava 00, but
Dude, this for some reason like this.
oh, shit,
This
do
is
I need
dope,
this?
dude. You better get it now because the Green Ranger when I bought it was $126. They're now sold out everywhere and they're going for $200 within a week.
See, oh man, yeah, that is an unfortunate byproduct.
So you either gotta wait or you're gonna have to pay the money to get him.
Oh, I'm checking Big Bad right now. I'm sure.
Oh,
it's gonna
White
be
Ranger, I think White Ranger's still available. If that's your guy.
I do like.
Yo, this is the most detailed sub I've ever seen in my life. Oh, and it extends.
Draken is still up.
Draken's still available.
Oh.
I think he's like 150 now, though.
Oh man. Oh, yep. Green Ranger sold out. White Ranger sold out. Damn, and it was $109. That's a great price.
If you go to Entertainment Earth, they're still $99, but they're waiting for a restock. I think that's your best bet.
Chamba, does 3-0 usually push out re-releases or more stock? Or are we just shit out of luck if it's sold out? All right, I'm checking Entertainment Earth.
Oh, I also ordered because there's not a White Ranger helmet or a Green Ranger helmet that's a decent price. So I picked up Draken. Draken I got for $89, and it's got a voice changer built in.
Who makes the
Hasbro.
The helmet? Hasbro? Okay.
Oh my gosh, dude. This is you remember when you first see him and it's Billy looking down from the top, looking into the grate, and it's like Alpha 5 and Lord Zordon, and then looking down at him laying on the table. This is what this looks like. This is legit.
Yeah.
Although his suit is actually silver, not white. Or it looks silver.
Maybe
helmet.
Oh yeah. That looks so good, dude. And I like the redesign of the shield too,
from Green Ranger to White Ranger?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Sniff it. Smell it.
Yeah.
It does look silver.
It is. It looks silvery. But it's okay. It works, I think.
No, it still holds up. Oh, shoot. No. Now I'm getting distracted with other 3-0 stuff. God damn.
Yo, the only thing missing to make this a perfect figure is an actual Tommy Oliver head sculpt.
Yeah.
So I think I want to commission somebody or find Lord Draken head sculpt face as well as a Tommy. I did read a lot of reviews. The feet come off pretty easy on these.
Is the helmet removable? Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, don't break it on camera, but
I'm pretty sure it just comes right off. Ball peg.
Okay. I wonder if there are.
There's got to be. Someone has got to have done it, and I need to get them. I need a Tommy head sculpt in 1/6 scale. I need one for Lord Draken as well.
Well, we know a sculptor that could do that. 3-0. Let's say Green Ranger.
Where are you looking?
Entertainment Earth.
Yeah, it was $99 restocking.
Oh, it says it's coming out in January.
Yeah.
Should I just buy the 5? Oh wait,
Dude,
no, the
how much
6-pack. I
how
should just
much
buy
is
the
a
6-pack.
6-pack?
It's $5.50 plus free shipping.
Yeah, see, I don't want all the Rangers.
Does anybody want other Power Rangers 1/6?
Oh, is it in stock?
Yeah, it's in stock, and it's also in stock in BBTS.
Oh.
I know. I mean, you get that's a surefire way of getting the Green Ranger, man. And that, dude, then it breaks down to less than 100 per figure, which is insane. I paid $134 for a Figma that I hate the other day.
Dude, this figure is dope. I don't care what people said.
Damn, it does look good.
It looks
Shoot.
good.
And I imagine the Green Ranger will look just as good.
You know who posts a lot of pictures of the Green Ranger is, we talked about earlier, Lawless.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He does have that 3-0.
Yeah. And I think why this looks silver is because the suits have that shimmer to them. I think they try to capture that.
Yeah.
So it's got interchangeable hands as well. You get 4 sets of hands, technically.
Yo, we got some royalty in the building. We got Omar V. There's got to be a market for Yellow Rangers. Bro, you're always highlighting my comments on your stream, dude. I had to do it to you. Guys, go check out the Lost Cause Collective streaming tonight, right? At in about 40 minutes, I think. Shout out to those guys. They keep it real, and they always got me laughing my ass off. So and shout out to you, OMRV. I was talking about you the other day when you hooked me up with my very first plunderling. So I appreciate it. I still appreciate it to this day. And I will return the favor one day, my friend.
Oh. If you knew they were making the White Ranger, how did you not know they wouldn't make the White Ranger? Also, I think having both is worth it.
Wait, so that implies that Chamba prefers the White Ranger over the Green Ranger.
That's exactly what that sounds like. But
nice. All right.
Here's the struggle to get Saba into the... Because this is instant. This is instant light. This is display. This is not going back in the box. Plus, my son was freaking out that I was opening up without him. But, yeah.
Does he come with hands? Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's got 4 sets of hands.
Sick.
2 feet. You know, the feet aren't as posable, but I think...
Are those joints clicking?
They are.
Nice. Okay.
They're like ratcheting.
Yeah, I don't mind
they're ratcheting.
Damn.
I think it's the head sculpt and the shield. They did a really good job. And so, their basic body is the same across all the Rangers. I had the Red Ranger, and it was decent. I think I opened that up on stream with you guys. But
yeah, he does look a little slender.
Yeah, that's one of the problems. They say the proportions on the legs seem kind of long, and they're kind of slender. But I mean, I think that's nitpicking.
Yeah, in the right pose, you could probably hide that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I'm looking up. I'm not even looking below the chest really, but when it comes to the Rangers anyway. So, but yeah.
RG is saying the same thing, man. The only way to get the Green Ranger is to buy that 6-pack.
Yeah, because $200 is not really worth it unless.
I mean, you could get a few $100 more. You get all of them. You could probably make your money back too.
If you can sell them. I mean, they're pretty readily available at discounted price.
Well,
the other Rangers.
Yeah, you're right.
And unless you can sell them for $80 a piece. I mean, you make some money back, I guess, right? So 5 times 8, you're looking at $400. I mean, you're still getting them for less than $150.
Yeah, but a display, especially, you got the complete team
of 1/6 scale. You're gonna display all of them.
I mean, I think a DTOF.
I think if you buy the 5-pack or the 6-pack like that, it actually comes with the weapon that had, what is it called? Where they're all attached.
They all combined. Yeah.
Yeah. You actually get that in the 5-pack.
Yeah, man. Shit. Now I'm thinking about it, dude. All right, this just in: flight stands are going to be up for sale tomorrow and the rest of the week.
Oh, I found an imperfection. Dang it.
Is it paint imperfection?
Yeah, but it's slight. It looks like battle damage.
But he never got battle damage. Yo, nobody put hands on him.
Dude, Draken is going to be sick. I can't wait for Draken to come in.
Yeah. You ordered it?
Yeah, I did. I got him at 125.
Nice.
I did a lot of research. I didn't realize like they did a promo for a live action.
Did they really?
That looked really good. Yeah, dude. It's got Jason David Frank playing the role of Draken, and it's only like a couple minutes or something. But I guess they were going to release like a live action series, and it just didn't take. I don't know why, but it looked.
Did you read that? Did you read that? I
didn't. Art? That's one comic that I'm gonna go back now and read. And I got it. Really, fractured grid or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and pick all those comics up if they're decent price from Boom Comics. Or
it's gonna make me want to pick up some other figures too, man.
They just released the Ranger Slayer. She looks really cool.
She looks great. You got that Lightning collection of her?
No.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Really?
Yeah.
What I do have is, you remember Hasbro Con, the first year they did it with the Draken set that was like Evolution 3? I never opened that, dude. Yeah.
Keep it in the box. Because it's displayed. It looks like a good piece to keep MOC.
Yeah, and I have the other one I've opened up, even though there was a lot of paint imperfections. But dude, this got good neck articulation too.
Man, I kind of want it now, dude. I keep on looking at it, and I'm just like, shit.
Look how good it looks, man.
I know. I'm trying not to look.
I'm surprised you didn't have this already, being a 3-0 fan and a Power Rangers fan.
I mean, believe me, it's been in and out of my car. I actually had them on pre-order when they first came up. And I'm like, I don't have the space. Dude, I mean, as a kid, I loved Power Rangers. I remember like losing my mind waiting for the next episode, especially like when they ended on a cliffhanger, Mm-hmm. And the Green Ranger arc was one of the best stories ever told. I loved it, but I'm like, that's a lot of money. I mean, all things considering, it's not that expensive. It's less than $100 a figure. It's just this, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to buy it.
Get them now while you can. Even get I think Draken looks dope because it's a combination of both. But
have you ever bought from Entertainment Earth?
Yes, I used to pre-order, and then I don't really mess with them now. But if they have something I can't get, wait, you gonna buy the whole thing?
Yeah, I'll buy the whole set. Free shipping. Because BBTS doesn't have free
points.
Shipping.
I think those are points.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely points, man.
Hey, will you sell me some of the Rangers? I'm just kidding. I'm probably gonna go buy the pack myself and try to. In a couple weeks, there's gonna be a bunch of Rangers on like Mercari and eBay.
I think and again, it's unfortunate, but like, I don't know, man. You see a lot of people take advantage of the loss of somebody, and kind of really play on those heartstrings. And I think, oh, that's right, Toy Bro is a freaking discount. Omar coming through.
How's the discount from Entertainment Earth?
Put in code Toy Bro and you get discount. I saw like a crazy deal for that.
Shit. Okay.
Movie Realization Mandalorian for $54.
Dude, craziness! I missed it too. It sold out quick.
I just have a feeling like the Green Ranger merch, it's going to be, hard to get nowadays.
For sure. That's why I jumped on it, because I knew I wanted it, and I'd just been procrastinating.
Yeah.
Like, I just got his autograph not too long ago.
I know. I remember that, dude. That's cool.
I was hoping to run into him at a con soon because we were getting back into cons. It's sad.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
So this is how I'm going to fill the void. There's going to be some Tommy Oliver shrines everywhere in the house.
I'm just gonna tell Mason we ain't getting a PS5 this year for Christmas. So. Whoops.
It's overrated, man. The Switch. Oh, did you get that new Sonic? We're switching subjects real quick, but
I
Sonic
did. So
Frontier?
I got Sonic Frontiers for Mason for his birthday, and then he wanted Pokemon Scarlet. And
Ooh, is that good?
yeah, it's pretty fun. There's a lot of bugs in it. It's open world, which is great. And then I'm like, shit, man, I really like the other character because they sell them in like 2 different versions. And then I ended up downloading Violet because he's like, we can play together. So I bought 3 games in the span of like 2 weeks for Switch. Frontiers is okay. I don't really like that open world. Damn, that looks good. I'm trying not to look at it, man. The open world for Sonic just kind of doesn't make sense to me. I'm like an old school dude. I like.
Wait, is it open world?
Yeah, it's open world, but you know what? This is the best way I can describe it. It looks like the Sonic team had bought a pre-existing asset, a pre-existing world, and then just added shit on top of it. They tried a cheeseburger when really they didn't cheeseburger anything. Yeah. It just looks like a generic open world with like rails and contraptions, and it doesn't look cohesive to me. I don't really like it. Mason likes it. A lot of people like that game. I just think it's a little odd. It would have been better to see an open world with like natural structures like cliffs and stuff that actually look like, oh, that could be a ramp or that could be a loop versus some sort of man-made metallic structure in there on top of like an existing like open world. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But for some reason, my son in the past like month, he got into Sonic. We just had a Sonic birthday. So I don't know if we watched all the movies. I didn't realize there was 2 like live action movies. And so Sonic has became like, he's beating out Mario right now, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, I've always loved Sonic, dude. Back in the day, Sonic 3 is still my favorite like old school game of all time. Sonic 3.
Really? I like Sonic 2 because of Knuckles and Tails, but
Sonic Knuckles came out in Sonic. Actually,
Knuckles was it Sonic 3?
Sonic 3, yeah.
I gotta go tell my wife that because she schooled me and told me it was Sonic 2. So I was
no, Tails came out in Sonic 2. And then Sonic 3. And then there was another one, Sonic and Knuckles, where it had like the open top cartridge where you can put double cartridges on there. And it would, So it's Sonic 3 is the shit, man. And it has like one of the best soundtracks ever. Went on a wild tangent tonight. It cost me a lot of freaking money tonight. God damn. I got to figure out where I want to put these figures.
Dude, as soon as you walk in the house, Power Ranger figures.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out like a new display in the living room.
You know, it'd be sick. I want them to do this. Make a Lord Zed, Rita, and Goldar, because y'all would kill
in
it.
1/6?
In 1/6. How sick would that be?
Goldar would be nuts.
Goldar would be nuts. Lord Zed, dude, if they could pull Lord Zed off of some kind of like seamless body, that'd be dope. And then Rita
would be a hazard, man. Should poke your eye out.
Oh, that's right.
Don't drop her, dude.
Society. Oh man, beautiful. I made the right choice.
Yeah, you did. You got a good deal on that too, right?
125.
Yeah, I think he's one.
I think that's pre-order price.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. But yeah, that's the pickup for this week. There were some more things. I got this from Lago. This is the 3-pack Venom. I wasn't interested in the other ones. This is a really good looking Venom. I was actually comparing it to the 2-pack Null Venom, and obviously that was from the MCU body. Yeah. But this one hands down just looks so much better, especially compared to a Spidey.
Yeah, I returned my set, man.
Yeah, I wish the head was a little smaller because I think the head is just really huge. And I think it would have made the body look a little bit bigger.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
But The additional head sculpt that comes with is sick. You've seen this, right?
Yeah, I have. I always, yeah, for whatever reason, Marvel Legends always oversizes their Venom head. Yeah, Mega Dome.
Yeah, that looks sick. But yeah, man, that's the pickups for this week.
Yeah, are you gonna have anything to open up on Thursday?
Man, I've always got stuff to open. I still didn't open up Jean Grey. I haven't opened up. There was a few other Mafex I've not opened up, and I'm sure some pre-order stuff's coming in. Oh, I got some Dragon Ball. Did I open up Krillin? I did open up Krillin.
Oh, the battle armor, Krillin?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Shit, I need him. I missed out on him. Machu, what's up, man? Oh shoot, where did you get him from? Is he on BBTS?
BBTS.
I need to get that too. Damn, you spending money tonight.
I might have some Rangers. Is that next week? I might have some Rangers to open up.
It's this Thursday. What do you mean, some Rangers? Oh, the 5-pack, the 6-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'll have Draken, and I'll have the helmet because that stuff hasn't come in yet. So I'll have those things.
Yeah, I got some stuff coming in tomorrow from BBTS. I think it's going to be all 118 stuff that I'm opening up this Thursday. Some obscure shit, which is just going to help me, just motivate me to build even more, man. Because I got a whole list of things to build.
Machu, do you have this guy?
Oh, dude, don't show Machu. He's gonna buy it. He's gonna buy it.
Saba alone is worth it. It's probably the most detailed Saba I've seen. I can't wait to wear that Draken helmet because it's got a voice changer in it. Yeah, I'm excited about stuff coming in this week.
Where's Krillin?
Where is Krillin? I got him from BBTS.
I know. I'm looking for him right now. Dragon Ball.
I don't know if he's still available. Dude, I missed out on some really good Dragon Ball stuff this past couple weeks.
He's in stock. Done.
There you go.
Done deal. Oh my god, spending so much money today. Wait, what would you miss out on?
Did any of the figures that went up that was showed at the convention go up for sale? The new Gohan, Pan, and then looks like they're coming out with
from. No, yeah, Pan is up for pre-order. Did you get this guy?
No, missed out on him.
He's on Amazon.
Really? Well, even like the Vegeta that just I wanted the new the new Vegeta. It's got the Saiyan armor. I want to get that Vegeta, but I don't know if those went up for pre-order yet.
I don't think they're up on pre-order at BBTS, but I got them from I think Javi Genki.
But there's also a new wear it down. There's also the new Gohan. Is it not Mystic Gohan, but like Ultimate Gohan? The one with the gray hair. Yeah, Beast Gohan. Thank you. I don't even know him, but he looks dope.
Did you not see that movie?
What movie is that?
Dragon Ball Superheroes?
Oh, that's the new. I'm not. We were supposed to go when you were here. Or no, we were supposed to go in Toronto. We didn't go.
I saw it. I took my son to go see it. It is. I think it's the best Dragon Ball movie out there. It's really good. Go see it, man. Go take your kid to see it. Yeah, I missed out on Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, which I didn't think the figures looked like they weren't accurate portrayals from them, what they look like in the movie. So I'm hoping that they'll eventually do like a 2.0. Yeah. But yeah, no, you got to get this Gohan. He's really good. Actually, any of the figures from this line is really good, and they're priced. I mean, he's $35.
Yeah, and so I got disappointed because I got the Vegeta from that wave, I think.
Yeah,
and it was canceled. I guess they'd oversold them on Amazon.
He's on BBTS right now. $35. but they're really good
That's
figures.
ridiculous to me that they can get them that cheap and to be so good.
Well,
Because
they
they're
changed
so
that,
accurate to the anime now. I feel like.
yeah. Well, they're gateway figures too. Yeah, go pick that up. And then I think I paid $67 for Pan.
It's a lot for that little figure. She's like not that big.
She's great though, and she's so freaking adorable in the movie. She is a vital figure to get. And then shoot, Trunks, the new Future Trunks. Man, I immediately snagged him. He looks so
I need to, but
damn
that's not my
good.
favorite Trunks. My favorite Trunks is like the Ascended Trunks. Well, before he goes Ascended, he gets all big, but like long haired Trunks in the Saiyan armor, like fresh out of the hyperbolic time chamber.
You have that figure?
I don't.
I got him. I think I have two actually.
That's a good figure. And then they're gonna release the Jiro Android. What was it like 16 and 7? What two androids were those? Gonna release those.
19?
Those are cool. Yeah. Is it 18 and 19 or 19 and 20? I don't know.
Yeah, those look cool. And pretty sure Cyborg Frieza's coming too, which
that's gonna be dope.
Absolutely need. I didn't get the jacked up Frieza. And I might regret that, but I need to slow down on my Dragon Ball hauls because so far I've been a completionist and I've gotten everyone.
That's sick. I need to send you the cell first form.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, I need waiting on that. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's a slippery slope, but dude, Bandai SH Figure Arts is killing it, and they have a dedicated budget for 2023 because they're going to be taking a lot of my freaking money next year, man. It sucks.
Dedicated budget for Dragon Ball?
For SH Figure Arts.
Oh, you have a dedicated budget.
Yeah. They One Piece, they're coming out with One Piece figures. Like, I'm gonna have to get all those every single
you know
release.
what you know what I'll pick up? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is the 1/9 scale figure Vegeta. They're gonna re-release the Goku, I think, because that Goku was a flop. But I want to get that Imagination.
Yeah, Imagination works. Yeah. That Vegeta, I got him. He's Mason has him. He's cool.
Well, just a display piece. He doesn't have to be perfect. But I think soft goods, he looks good. I think the head sculpt could be a little better,
it's
probably
great.
more accurate.
There's some QC issues. That Goku was a flop for real. So I think they will, to your point, do a 2.0, and that's going to be great. But I am all in on that Imagination Works line for Dragon Ball because I want to support it because I want them to continue making more figures in that line with like soft goods and things like that. So it's it's cool.
Go back to this because it's brought up. What do you mean by One Piece line?
So the anime is called One Piece. Luffy, he's like a pirate of sorts. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's great, dude. And if you haven't seen it, there's like over 1,000 episodes, man. So,
really?
You'd be watching for a while. But Mason got into it, I think last year, and we've just been watching it.
I just finished One Punch Man. I really enjoyed that. I knew what he was, but I'd never seen it. That was really good.
Yeah, One Punch Man is really great too.
I never really understood. I was like, who's this bald, skinny guy that everybody's bragging about? But then after watching, I was like, oh, that is the man right there.
Dude, One Punch Man is so like it's so freaking clever. This guy who just yearns for fighting is so damn powerful. He can never he just destroys him one punch. You know what I mean? So it's funny in that regard. I liked it. I don't think I watched season 2. So maybe he
maybe I just finished season 1.
Season 1 was great. Yeah. One Punch Man is great. But yeah, dude, the SHF is coming out with like a bunch of like new properties. And then Buzzmod just got the license for Gurren Lagann. And dude, I'm gonna be spending so much money next year.
Can you speak English for me? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's another anime that it's fucking great, dude. It is so goddamn good. Season 1. I'll just send you a link, man. It's so good.
I'm always down for new anime, especially like something so obscure I wouldn't watch it. Just maybe I would.
Yeah.
No, I should watch it.
Yeah. I'll send you a couple shows to watch. And they got Fooly Cooly also. they debuted, I think it was a Chuck Hogan Conti. It's freaking sick. That's only 6 episodes. Also, that's a quick watch for you. I'll send it. It's
Are these on
really out there.
Funimation or where do you watch these?
I don't know. I mean, I know the Fully Cooley is on YouTube, all 6 episodes, and it's a quick watch. It's crazy. So I haven't seen Spy. Was it Spy X Family? I don't know what that is. RG said. Am I even saying it right?
Spy Times Family.
Spy Spysix Family. I haven't finished Demon Slayer, but for whatever reason, I collect. So Mason collects all the Buzzmod figures, and I collect all the Figma figures, which means I'm paying for all versions of these. I need to start selling more shit. All right, commissions are open. Hit me up if you want a Dio.
Sell toys. I'm
Don't hit me up.
thinking about selling some of my stuff to get to end up stuff.
Yeah, dude, I'm about to post all my legends, $5. Minimum order, 5 figures. So you get
Wait,
5
all
figures
legends for $5, like your entire.
I don't give a shit, man. I can't move them, dude. Like $5 a
Dude,
figure.
some legends are dope. Now you got to hold on to some legends.
I mean, I will hold on
And
to
I'll take your Galactus
custom
too.
Venom. I have a Venom with a Mayshelf head sculpt on it, so I will keep that. Right. But dude, they're just sitting there in bins. In fact, I don't know if you saw, but I'm selling all my Common Rider figures. They've been in boxes, some of them not even open, since 2020. Like, and it's not even about like just if I can recoup some money, fine. But right now, I need the space, you know?
Yeah.
And whatever money I make is going to go into like actual shit that I really want. Like I've been trying to backtrack and buy like these small 128 scale acid rain figures, you know? What else? Like some Joy Toy stuff I want to pick up. I don't know, man. I'm trying to cheeseburger my collection here, you know? Make it better than once it was before.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because I'm kind of the same way, right? I have stuff in boxes. Some stuff is not even opened. And it's like, do I really care about that? If I do, I'll keep it, you know? But if it's just something I bought for fear of missing out, like I have no true line to it, then I'm probably going to start purging some stuff because, you know, space is the one thing you can't, well, you can get more of it, but you really can't, right? So purging some of the stuff and then making room for stuff that you really, really care about.
Yeah, man. I was going through, so I rearranged one of my closets to dig out all my Common Riders, right? And like even the Storm Collectibles King figure that I got recently, I'm like, he doesn't fit anywhere, so I'm gonna sell him. I don't give a shit. $70. I don't care. Somebody just buy it. But I got these figures. I realized the majority of these figures I bought because of FOMO. Like, I'll regret it later, or what if I want it later, then I don't want to pay aftermarket prices. But Chamba is always telling me, is like, dude, if you're not 100% sold on it in the beginning, don't even get it, because it's just going to sit there and you're going to end up selling it later. And that's why I tend to sell like a lot of shit, because I got it in fear of missing out, or I wanted to see what it was about. Second I open it, I'm like, yeah, I realized, no, it's not going to fit my collection. And then I'm just going to sell it, you know? So hopefully next year that's going to be better. And I won't be making like these impulsive buys or these purchases out of fear.
But you need a space to display some of your dios.
See, so, and I'm actually working on that. I think for my shelves right now, for like my acid rain stuff and like the smaller, like I think I want to incorporate some sort of like dio piece and then display the figures on the dio, you know?
That'd be dope.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is a lot of shit. And a lot of shit I love, but like, I don't know. Your interest kind of changes, you know? Like I've been like heavily collecting. Like when did 796 start? Back in 2017, 2018, end of 2017. And the collection has evolved, you know. It used to be heavy in Marvel Legends and a lot of like mainstream properties, and now it's is becoming like a lot of obscure stuff, you know, like the Acid Rain or even like the Devil Toy stuff, you know, like any release that they come out with, I'm buying. Snail Shell, any release they come out with, I'm freaking buying doubles, you know, a lot of these like lesser known properties. And I like that. I like seeing that on the shelf versus like, you know, Deadpool or, you know, Captain America or whatever the case is. Even though I don't think I'll ever sell my Yamaguchis, but you never know.
Sold some of them off here recently.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now they're starting to come out with 2.0s. I'm like, well, what am I going to do with like all these Spider-Men that I like hoarded?
Yeah.
It sucks, man. And that's the thing I realized. Like going back to Cheeseburger, dude, these companies are cheeseburgering themselves. Look at Legends. They're coming out with better bucks. They're doing 2.0s now. Yamaguchi is starting to do 2.0s. You know, they did a 2.0 Deadpool. They're doing a 2.0 Spider-Man, which looks freaking bonkers. And it makes the old one look like shit. And I don't need it anymore, you know? Maybe I still need it. I don't know. He looked cool right there.
Yeah. You need it. Well, why don't we do this? You want to start wrapping it up?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Points, baby.
There's the points. So yeah, tonight's episode was brought to you was all about the cheeseburger. You know, Mario came up with this idea. You know, we're trying to push the idea of cheeseburgering ideas and concepts, and you know, giving acknowledgement and recognition to what you cheeseburger, to who you cheeseburger something from, right?
Yeah.
And just keep it going, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
A break for a little sip before we go. Well, with that, dude, any closing remarks on the cheeseburger idea or concept?
Yeah, no, I mean, if like I said, I mentioned earlier, people are hitting me up and it's like, hey, can I recreate this or can I build? Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that I've ever made you want to try, go ahead. You know, if you cheeseburgered an idea, feel free to share with me. You know, I'd be down to see any of that stuff because then I will hopefully cheeseburger your cheeseburger. So yeah, let's just keep it moving, people.
Yeah, double cheeseburger that shit.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, so again, I'm High School Creations. If you've been watching this whole time and didn't know who I was, that's who I am, High School Creations, High School Mike. You can find me over on Instagram as High School Creations, here on YouTube as High School Creations. You can follow me or subscribe or whatever they call it over on Patreon. If you want to get into the digital assets I have available, whether that be for 3D printing or laser cutting, you can also find those over on Etsy. I sell those individually. I am, as you guys can tell, a diorama artist, maker, whatever you want to call it. I dabble with, lasers, CNCs, 3D printers, and also do a lot of, hand building as well. And Mario has inspired me to venture into smaller scales. So that's what I've been geeking out with here lately. Mario, where can people find you?
Yeah, I am 796 Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, various places. I will be doing some more flight stands, but right now I'm trying a whole made to order thing. So if you want some flight stands, hit me up and I can make you a set during my downtime. You can check me out every Tuesday on Toy Migos channel, Chat Migos Assemble at 5:15 Pacific Standard Time. You can catch both me and Mike on the first Thursday of every month on ToyingAround's channel, Enablers Edition Unboxing Thursday. And yeah, I don't know. I might actually open up some commissions soon for some dio builds. So, but yeah, find me 796 Studios on Instagram. Hit me up on the DMs. Peace.